What's going on YouTube? It's your boy camATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you comment anything down in the comment section to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and you'll be entered. All right. Thank you guys for joining me as always. We're going to get right into this high five. It was another win for the squad. So far, we have won Monday and we won Tuesday. Now it's time to get it in for this Wednesday slate. Hopefully, we'll see if the Washington game plays because they seem to not want to play. I don't think Washington really wants to face Philly. They're scared in some type of way or something like that, but they haven't been able to play. Let's hope they're able to play because I definitely like some prices on some of these guys on this slate, and we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, Monday and Tuesday, swept it. Let's go ahead and get straight into this Wednesday slate. Let's go ahead and get the third. Also, there is an early and a main slate. So go to greenlightdfs.com, join the squad for the early. You will get the main added on for free. So early and main. We got two slates tomorrow. Early will be posted about 30 minutes before the early slate, and then main 30 minutes before the main, so on and so forth. All right, so let's go ahead and make it a quick 4 in a row. Let's get straight to it. Now, starting off at pitcher, Rich Hill. Now, we were going to have Scherzer on this slate, but he broke his nose during batting practice. I don't have a ton of information on it, so he is definitely questionable to play, seeing that he broke his nose yesterday. So I'm going Rich Hill as my next guy. He is Mr. Consistent. Now let's look at his game log. There's been a few games that he hasn't done amazing. Against Washington on May 9th, he only got 10.5, and then against San Diego, which was a huge surprise, at San Diego, only 3.6. But other than that, he's averaged over 17 DraftKings points this season. In every game, he's only got a 2.6 ERA. He is holding people to low runs. He is doing a great job. 10-3, love Rich Hill. I also love Giolito as well against Chicago, especially if this weather ends up blowing in. You know Chicago, the stadium factors, I've mentioned this a bunch of times, but when the wind is blowing in hard, it's a huge bump to pitchers. It minimizes the home runs big time. So pay attention to the weather in Chicago. If that wind is blowing heavy in, I am all over Giolito. But as of right now, I do not know the weather situation, so I'm going Rich Hill. He is very, very safe for cash games, and that is what I promote you guys to play, especially not the huge bankroll guys who max enter. If you're not a huge guy who max enters every day and has a ton of bankroll to use every single day, you're a regular player, definitely play single entry double up. So that is what I factor in when I'm doing these high fives. So Rich Hill is safe. Next up, Ponce de Leon for St. Louis going against Miami. We know how bad Miami is, okay? St. Louis has been putting up runs so far at home. Everybody but Paul Goldschmidt. It seems like every time Paul Goldschmidt has an amazing price, he duds and gets a 0. And the moment he goes over like 4,200, he goes off. But yeah, he's been trash. But Ponce de Leon has been solid. He's a solid pitcher, okay? He's a righty who's going to be facing a ton of righties. I love Ponce de Leon in this matchup against Miami. Absolutely love it. I think St. Louis is going to get to Richards. Definitely love Ponce de Leon at 7-8. Okay, in that range, there's multiple guys you could definitely consider. Jon Lester going against the White Sox is a decent option. Lester is not that great. He definitely has a tendency to get blown up. He used to be good, but now he's just not that great. And I feel like my gut's telling me White Sox could possibly get to him in this one. So that's why I do not have him in the high five. If you do think that Richards will be solid, he is a righty going against a righty-heavy St. Louis lineup. But St. Louis at home, they've been putting up runs. I wouldn't really go there. If you want to take a chance on Max Fried, you can against the Mets. He is a lefty going against these Mets. A lot of the Mets' power is from the left side of the plate, other than Alonso, who is a monster. Other than Alonso, you have a bunch of lefty power, Conforto, Cano, all those guys, McNeil, all of them are lefties. So Fried should be able to hold them in check pretty good. And then last but not least, possibly Eduardo Rodriguez is 7.5. I do like the price at only 7.5. He's been pretty solid his last starts. He's at Minnesota, though. This Minnesota offense is scary. I mean, they've hit more home runs than any other team in the league. They got a lot of power. They've been hitting the ball great. This Boston game, the Boston-Minnesota game last night seemed like it was never going to end. So maybe these guys are tired. Rodriguez is ever to come in and handle a tired lineup. So yeah, keep that in mind. They just played, what, 19 innings before the game finally ended. So definitely consider Eduardo Rodriguez. I love him. So if I had to choose somebody other than Ponce de Leon, I would consider Rodriguez as my #1 option. And then I would consider Jon Lester. Okay? And that's it. Next up, CJ Cron. I absolutely love CJ Cron here in this matchup. I just talked about loving Eduardo Rodriguez, and I do. Don't get me wrong. But Cron is a monster versus left-handed pitching. He's 4-2, and like I said, this Minnesota team has some power on them. He's got a 305 ISO and a 453 WOBA versus left-handed pitching. He's an absolute monster versus lefties, okay? Even if the rest of the Minnesota lineup gets held in check by Rodriguez, I'm expecting Cron to dinger here. That is why I have him in the high five. So I love CJ Cron. Next up, Bryce Harper and Juan Soto. All right? Love both of these guys, okay? Now, obviously, if Scherzer was to be starting, I wouldn't be as into Bryce Harper, but I am not expecting Scherzer to start. I'm expecting Voth, Voth is expected to be the starter for Washington. Don't know much about the guy, but I know that Bryce Harper is a lefty-righty. He has the lefty-righty matchup, and he's only 3.8, which is a criminal price. So I absolutely love Bryce Harper. A lot of these players on these two teams are very well priced. If Jay Bruce is in the lineup, lefty-righty matchup, love him at 4.2. They are priced down. Keep in mind, they are priced down because they expected Scherzer to be the starter here. Okay, so they priced these guys down. Now that if Scherzer is not starting, and it is this Voth character, then you want to load up on these Philly bats because take advantage of that price drop because they are priced as if there's an ace on the mound. All right? Last but not least, I've been wanting to use Juan Soto against Arrieta for the longest time, and this might finally be my chance I can do it. I mean, the last, 2 slates, we had the chance to do it, but we weren't able to pull the trigger on it. I absolutely love Juan Soto at 4.3. He has crushed Arrieta in his career, and it's just an amazing matchup. Lefty-righty matchup. He's got a 235 ISO versus righties and a 406 WOBA versus righties. So I absolutely love Soto, and Arrieta struggles versus lefties. And that's it. Rich Hill for the safety. If that Chicago wind is blowing in, I love Giolito, Ponce de Leon, or Eduardo Rodriguez, CJ Cron, Bryce Harper. Remember, the Philly bats are priced low because they expected an ace in Scherzer to be on the mound. If Scherzer is starting, then that makes sense. That's fine. Then get off some of these Philly guys. But if it is this Voth guy, and he is not going to be in because Scherzer did break his nose yesterday. So I'm not expecting Scherzer to start here. I'm expecting Voth, who is projected to be the starter, to start. Take advantage of their price drops. Jay Bruce is an amazing price. Bryce Harper is an amazing price. And those are the two guys I've really zoned in on immediately. So definitely take advantage. And then Juan Soto against Arrieta. I've been wanting to play him, but haven't had the chance because Washington doesn't seem to want to play Philly for some reason. And that's it, guys. Thank you guys for joining me as always. GreenlightDFS.com. Join the squad. We're going for number 3 and 4 so far of the week. Let's sweep this week. Get all the way from Monday to Sunday complete. Win every single day. Let's get it. Why not? Drop a like, comment anything in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel, man. We are hot. Let's get this money back from a slow week last week. I'm locked in. Let's get it.